Okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Friday. TGIF, January the 20th, 2023. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. Appreciate being a minute or so late. I tried to time it up with my coffee machine, and my Nespresso was taking a little bit longer than I expected. Of course, big candle guy. We got the candle lit. I like just setting the tone. You know what I mean? We got once again, the Capricorn candle, the practical goat. You know it. Anyways, appreciate you all tuning in. We are taking your questions, your comments, your calls as well here on this Friday. 843-790-3377. I see Travis Allen, Hunter Kelly, Bruin Nation, Gad, Noah Johns, John Edward. What's going on? Thank you all so much for tuning in. Also, those in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel. Be sure your questions are answered there. What's going on today? Obviously, it is game day eve. South Carolina men's basketball will take the court again tomorrow. They will take on the 16th ranked Auburn Tigers. And if you want to know just how invested I am, I gave a score prediction on the podcast on yesterday's podcast. I don't even remember what it was. I got to be honest. I gotta hit up my guy Reese to get the graphic made. I got to go back and listen to my own podcast to remember what my score prediction was. It was like 82-58 or something like that. So I don't know. I got to go back, listen, figure that out. But that score prediction graphic will drop tomorrow. Of course, we're keeping things rolling with the baseball content. You see, we got the Yankee gray, the J on today. We got the Justin Smoke. If I could turn around and show you somehow, I would. But we got the Justin Smoke J on today. Love it, love it. This is such a dope piece. Absolutely love it. That is one interview I'd love to get on. Justin Smoke. That's my all-time favorite yard cock. Huge fan of Justin Smoke. I also see, by the way, just a side note on Twitter, we just hit 34,000 followers. So how about that? We continue to grow on social media. Love it again. Appreciate you guys. Your love and your support of the Spurs Up Show. Of course, the social media side of things. Social media, of course, extremely important. It's where we house the business, literally. So thank you all so much for continuing to show love and show that support truly on social media and rock with us and engage with the content. It means the absolute world when you guys retweet, when you share, when you do all that good stuff. So again, thank you all so much. Anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Bruin Nations, I can't believe Beamer is carrying recruits to the game. The arena is going to be empty. Well, Bruin Nation, I just think that's something they do. They're also honoring the football team at halftime. So maybe that'll be a reason for people to go out. But, yeah. Yeah, I would. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I don't think attendance is going to be all that great. I know that our friend Brendan M will be there. He had talked about bringing Dalton with him. I don't think Dalton wants to go. Maybe Brendan, by the way, can find us an early spread on that Carolina Auburn game. I'd imagine it'll be ugly, but guys, I actually will not be in Columbia. I'm actually heading to Atlanta tomorrow. I don't mind telling you that. I'm heading to Atlanta for the Atlanta Braves Fan Fest. It's some sort of fan fest my buddy invited me to, and we're going to go to Atlanta, go to Truist Field, go to the Battery, smoke a cigar at Rocket Patel Cigar Lounge. We're going to have us a day, man. Going to be a hell of a time. Of course, I'll have the game on. We'll watch the basketball game, but going to have a hell of a time in Atlanta tomorrow. And I wouldn't consider myself like a Braves super fan, right? Like I love the game of baseball. I'm a Braves fan by default. Obviously, that's my team that I'm going to claim. But I'm not, like my guy P-Dawk, obviously. We all know P-Dawk, right? Above average Gamecocks. P-Dawk watches every single Mets game. My guy Alex Cosentino, shout out to Alex. He watches every single Yankees game. I know people, they watch every game on a night in, night basis, a night in, night out basis. I don't do that with the Braves. Number one, because I'm busy with the Gamecocks. Number two, I would not label myself like a Braves super fan. I got other things going on. I love it. But here's what happens. Is like, I get super fired up for opening day. I watch the first week or two, right? And of course, we still have South Carolina going on. So I'm really more so concerned with that. But I watch opening day. I watch the first couple of weeks. you get into the summer and it just, I understand why baseball's so long, but the season's so long. It feels like in June, July, you're just like, I mean, do these games even really count? Like, that's how it feels. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it feels. But, it does help when the Braves are as good as they are. It gives you more of a reason to keep up with it, no doubt. And I tell myself every year, like, I'm going to watch more games. You know what I mean? But, it's you get to a point where you're just like, man, there's so many freaking games. And then obviously when we get like late August, early September, I get back into it. We get closer to the playoff time. But I'm not someone I would say that I'm following along for the entire season or anything like that. I mean, I'm keeping one eye on it, but I'm not like watching every single game. Shout out to those that are. That's a commitment. That's a grind. You got to really love baseball to do that. And I really love baseball, but again, it's a little bit different dynamic for me because I watch every single South Carolina game. Gad says, if you thought about making jerseys, not really. I don't know, Gad, how we would go about that. It feels like it'd probably be more trouble than it was worth. I don't know what kind of jersey we would make, to be honest with you, Gad. I don't know. Brennan M., what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, my guy. I was just telling everybody you will be in the building tomorrow for the South Carolina-Auburn game. God bless you. God bless you, my guy. No, it should be a good time. It'll be a lot of fun. Of course, they're going to honor the football team. Shane Beamer is bringing a ton of recruits, to the basketball game, and they're going to honor the basketball team and honor their accomplishments and everything they did over the course of the season, tomorrow at the game. But that's probably going to be the only highlight. It's going to be tough. I am ready to get hurt again. When it comes to South Carolina basketball, I mean, you could apply that to all of Gamecocks athletics, but South Carolina, I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm ready. I am ready to get hurt again. So, anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. Whatever you guys want to discuss. Again, a little bit of a slower day today, which is fine because, as I've told you all before, a lot of times days like these is when some of the best content, is inspired or organically grown because there's, I do believe, and I'll say this, we stay so busy 24/7, and when you create the amount of content, the sheer amount of content that we create, you do have to be structured, right? Like when you're in football season, right? You can't just go into it blindly. Like, we'll just do whatever. You need to have a plan, right? Because there's so much content leading up to the game on Saturday. But I will say, when there's less going on, and you ask anybody this, you ask any content creator or just any artist, creator, what have you, that, when you can't be creative or as creative when you're busy, right? It's only in times of stillness that you find true inspiration and creativity and stuff like that. So it's a great opportunity for us. And as things slow down just a little bit, it's a great opportunity to maybe try some different things, do some different things. But continue to bring you guys great content and think of different ways that we can, increase value and give back to you guys. Because I think a lot of people, that's a lot of content creators, I think that's where they miss the mark. It's not really about you. You know what I mean? It's about the end consumer. It's about you guys. It's about the fans. It's about the people that tune into the shows. It's about the people that consume the content, right? I mean, that's who you need to be focused on providing value for, right? Giving the people more of what they want. So also, guys, I'm really excited to announce. It's not an official announcement, but we had the conversation this morning with our friends over at Carolina Ale House. So what's really, really exciting, right? I live in Greenville now, as basically all of you know. The women's basketball tournament, the SEC tournament, it is in Greenville this year at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. And let me get into, by the way, let me just touch on, I saw Travis Allen ask the question, taking off our garnet glasses, is our girls entering dynasty mode, or would you just say elite? I think dynasty mode, Travis Allen's very fair. On that note, the SEC women's basketball tournament is up here in Greenville. And I was taking a look at the schedule this morning, and we were talking with Carolina Ale House guys. And, of course, we've done watch parties with them. We're going to continue to do watch parties. We got the spring tour that's upcoming. I'm actually firing over. And, of course, this weekend I'll probably be in in communication with the Big Cock Club Discord a little bit on our suggested dates, a.k.a. Brendan M. telling me when he can make the Greenville outing and when he cannot. Anyways, I'm sending them over dates this weekend, proposed dates, stuff like that. So over the course of probably starting in mid-February, mid to later February, running through probably the beginning of April. That is when we will partake in the spring tour, right? The TSUS spring tour. But anyways, I'm excited to say and announce that we will be doing something here in Greenville at Carolina Ale House for the SEC women's basketball tournament. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but we were looking at the schedule. I mean, I think we all agree, right? The Gamecocks are going to be the 1 seed in that tournament. I'd be shocked if they're not. They're going to be the 1 seed in that tournament. And first game for us will be on that Friday, March the 3rd at noon, right? So what that means is probably no TDC. What we'll probably do is like a watch party, or we'll go to the game at Bon Secours. I think we could also do a watch party downtown Greenville. I'm sure we'll collab with the Greenville Gamecock Club, something like that. Those guys have always been they've always been willing to work with us, and I'm grateful for that. My guy Kemper and the rest of the Greenville Gamecock Club, they've always just done an incredible job in regards to all the events they throw and stuff like that. So, we want to do a lot of stuff over that weekend. And what's interesting that weekend too, that is the weekend of Carolina Clemson baseball. So that will be a huge weekend in the upstate, because that Friday night baseball game is at Clemson, which I have not decided whether I'll be going to that one or not. Saturday, the game will be at Fluor Field in Greenville. So, and that game's going to be at 1 o'clock first pitch. And then, assuming, again, women's basketball wins, which I think it's safe to say, or safe to assume we win, we'll play that Saturday at 4:30. So it'll be like back-to-back, right? It'll be back-to-back. So a full day of that. And then Sunday, the championship game. We'll kind of figure that out, because baseball does play at 1 o'clock at Founders Park against Clemson, and the championship game is Sunday, I think, at like 3 or something. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But either way, I'm really excited. We got a lot of exciting things in the pipeline, and looking forward to seeing all you guys. I mean, I love the tour events. I mean, I told Ale House this morning, man, I was talking with them, and it's just, to me, it feels like a no-brainer, right? It's you guys come out, you show love, show support. It's a great opportunity for us to sell merchandise as well. But, I'd say more importantly, just get to shake you guys' hands and talk Gamecocks and update you all really on the business side of things, and content side of things, and everything we got upcoming, and promote the brand and promote the business. And, again, I chat with a lot of you on social media via DMs, and you guys show your love and support. But again, I'm still someone, I believe in the power of a handshake. I believe in the power of looking someone in the face and saying thank you, and showing gratitude and showing love. So it's always a blast, man. And I can't wait to do it again. I think the spring tour is going to be a massive success. And I was telling them, hey, if we can bring people out over the summer when there's nothing going on, like, why can't we bring people out over the spring when we got games and we really got things to look forward to and stuff like that. So, anyways, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much for the continued love and support. Let's see. The transfer portal window has closed heading into spring football. Here's a breakdown of the players hit the portal. Gamecocks had 13 players exit via the transfer portal. Texas A&M with the most, 25. They had 25 guys hit the portal. Let's see. Auburn, let's see, transfers signed from SEC programs. Auburn led the way with 4. Carolina tied with Ole Miss, LSU, and Georgia with 3. Who were the 3 we added? Trey Knox. God, am I forgetting like some very notable people? Who did we add that I'm forgetting? Oh, Makiska or whatever, the tight end from Florida. I'm trying to not look at y'all's comments because I should know this. Who's the third one? Oh, Jerron Willis. See, I didn't need him. See, I didn't need y'all to tell me. There we go. The 3 we had was Makiska from Florida, Jerron Willis, and Trey Knox. I'm talking only SEC additions. I'm not talking all transfer portal additions. There we go. How about that? Let's see. Transfers signed from Power 5 programs. Apparently we had 3. I thought we had more than that. It feels like we had more than that. I don't know. Anyways, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from Big Big Willie.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you asking what's going on.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, what do you think about the South Carolina Gamecocks football for next year? Is it a little bit too early to go ahead and say that y'all gonna go 6-6 again, like y'all did a couple years ago? Or is it safe to say that y'all gonna go 8-4 again, like y'all did last year?
Well, my way too early predictions, my guy, I had 9-3. So I'd probably lean more to the 8-4 than I would the 6-6. I think worst case scenario for Carolina this fall, and when I say worst case scenario, right, I mean, if everybody got injured, knock on wood, they don't, then that changes the projection of the season. Obviously, that's any team. But with this group, I think the worst case is probably 7-5. I think best case is 10-2. I think you fall somewhere in the middle of that. 8-4, 9-3 is probably where I see this team landing.
Are you excited for the? I heard that y'all's first game is gonna be versus North Carolina. Y'all gonna have Drake May versus Spencer Rattler. I mean, does that excite you? And how do you feel that Spencer Rattler is going to do next year? Do you think he's gonna be like he was versus Tennessee and Clemson, or do you think he's gonna be like he was in the first half of the season?
So I am excited for the matchup, right? Number one, I'm very excited for the matchup. I think that's one of the better quarterback matchups I think we'll have on our schedule. Drake May's a fantastic player, and it'll be a tough challenge going up against him, a retooled secondary for Carolina. A lot of talented players, but it's a big year for the defense. It's a big year for Clayton White. So, really excited for the game. Yeah, I think it's a great tone setter for Carolina football. You come out the gate. It's a big game for them too, right? And what they're trying to accomplish. And, and to answer your question about Spencer Rattler, what will he be? He better be more so closer to what we saw the final 2 games versus what we saw the other 10. I mean, listen, I don't think it's necessarily fair to expect him to play like he did against Tennessee every week, but we've talked a lot about Dowell Loggins and the offense, and there's no grace period. There's no grace period for it. You got to hit the ground running. You don't have a choice. You got UNC week 1. Yeah, you got the layup with Furman week 2, but then you go to Athens to take on Georgia, and then you look at the front half of that schedule, with Tennessee and Mississippi State and, some other tough games. So you've got to hit the ground running. Spencer Rattler's got to play better, no doubt. We blamed Marcus Satterfield for the majority of the problems, and I think it's fair. I think Spencer Rattler was overwhelmed by the offense. He looked confused. It was a discombobulated group, and when they finally simplified things, you saw what happened. So I think Spencer Rattler, I would expect him to play much better. If I thought he was going to play like he did in 10 of the 12 games in 2022, I probably wouldn't even want him to be the starter, to be honest with you. So no, I'm expecting him to be much better. He's got to be better, and there's certainly a lot of pressure on him to be better this year.
Now, do y'all have any transfers coming in to South Carolina? And if y'all do, who are you most excited to see coming into the Carolina football next year?
In regards to the recruiting class, you said?
The
transfer portal. Yeah, I think Jerron Willis, the Ole Miss transfer, I think he's going to be an immediate day one impact player. We need the help at the linebacker position, right? So I think he's going to start off the jump. Was a highly regarded player in recruiting, 4-star, right? So I think I think he'll be an impact guy. I think Trey Knox, obviously at tight end. I think that you lose Jaheim Bell, but you pick up Trey Knox. I think without a doubt. I think he fills that role very well. I think he'll be even better at the tight end position than I think Jaheim Bell was. Outside of that, the guy from Yale, his name slips my mind right now, but I think he'll make an impact on the offensive line. Was a great player for them. It's certainly a transition from that level to the SEC level, but I think he will provide great depth. I think you look at who else? The transfer tight end. You picked up plenty of tight ends, right? The transfer tight end from Florida. I think Mario Anderson Jr. from Newberry. There's some interesting guys. I mean, the big win over this cycle was getting Rattler and Wells back, right? I don't think you quite made the the major splash in the portal that you made a season ago. But I mean, there was just no way you were going to top that, right? Like I saw something, I think it was 24/7 Sports labeled South Carolina as one of the losers of the portal. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily disagree. I think it's because you look at who you brought in, and you brought in some capable players, but you lose Jaheim Bell, you lose Marshawn Lloyd, you lose Gilbert Edmond, you lose Jordan Burch, right? We saw the negative side of the transfer portal for South Carolina this year. But after last year, when you brought in again Spencer Rattler, Juice Wells, you just weren't going to top that, right? You most likely were not going to top that, and getting them back was the biggest win of the offseason, I'd say, for damn near any team in college football. So all in all, I think the Gamecocks did well in the portal. You know, I think they'll have better years in the portal. I think Shane Beaver, the good news, he's going to continue to attack the portal. And I think, unfortunately, you probably did miss on a couple of guys that you wanted to sign. But all in all, I've got no issues with it. And again, I think you did add a couple of impact guys led by guys like Trey Knox on the offensive side and Jerron Willis on the defensive side.
Thank you for taking my call, and I appreciate you answering my question.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. And for those of you asking, Big Willie's a Georgia fan. Actually, he's called in before, and trolled the show and all that. But you know what? Yeah. So. Anyways, 843-790-3372. Great questions. Honestly, great questions. Truly great questions. Yeah, really good stuff. So anything exciting happening in the world of sports this weekend? Anything? I am playing a lot more golf these days also. A lot of fun playing a My bad, guys. That wasn't even the hackers. That was me. I was trying to change windows and went off the screen. Here we go. Let's jump back to the phone lines.
Call from
Hunter.
Hunter, what's going on, my guy? How are you?
I'm good, man. What's you?
I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
Yeah. So, can you explain to me what like these odds are? Like, so you know how like this Gamecock baseball has like plus 20,000 odds to win the I guess like the World Series or something, or not the World Series, but like series.
The College World Series, yes.
Yeah. Can you explain to me like what the odds are, like what it means, or if it's good or bad, or because I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I mean, dude, number one, it's really hard to create odds. I mean, I saw people freaking out on Facebook about it, and like, listen, it's really hard to create odds around college baseball, or just baseball in general, but college baseball especially. What it means, though, if you bet $100 on the Gamecocks to win the College World Series, $100, and they win, you'll win 20 grand. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
$100 wins you 20 grand. Now, what that means is, though, is like, what are the odds of them winning it? It's a long shot. But, I mean, LSU's the favorite. They're at like plus 350 here. I got my buddy Ben Upton here. Here, I'll give you some of the best SEC odds here. Here we go. LSU's plus 500, Tennessee's plus 600, Ole Miss plus 1,200, Arkansas plus 1,400, Vanderbilt plus 1,500, Florida plus 1,800, Texas A&M plus 2,000. Then you go into, who's the next SEC team? Mississippi State plus 6,000, which is really interesting. The one I don't agree with, Clemson somehow is plus 10,000 and we're plus 20,000. But I mean, dude, it's other teams with plus 20,000 odds. Liberty, Michigan, Arizona State, UC Irvine, Baylor, San Diego, Louisiana Lafayette, Georgia Southern, La Tech, Kentucky, Southern Cal's plus 30,000. So I mean, it's they're making odds, right? But I mean, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. It doesn't mean a whole lot. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I've seen it. I've seen it everywhere where you post it all the time sometimes. And
Right.
I've seen the football where we were like 400 out of one odds, and I was like, I have no idea if that's a good thing or not. I tried looking up on Google, but Google obviously doesn't give me shit. So
Yeah. No, yeah, it's DraftKings is where you can find the odds though.
DraftKings, okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I didn't want to take up your time.
No, you're good, my guy. That's a very fair question. Very fair.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate it though.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for the call.
No problem.
Great stuff from Hunter as always. Great stuff from Hunter as always. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Let's see. Anything on Jeff Coat? No, nothing on Jeff Coat. Nothing on Jeff Coat. Nothing on Trajan Jeff Coat. So I've heard nothing. I'll have to text JC. Sounds like it's not necessarily good news, but yeah. So let's see. Ronnie Pace, speaking of golf, let's get a foursome together. I actually was at the range yesterday, and I got an interview at 4 today. If I didn't, I'd probably go hit some balls, to be honest with you. I might still go hit some balls. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Again, guys, let's see. Elizabeth Ballard says, if you ever have a chance, you should try to play the Cliffs course near North Greenville. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Oh, yeah, NFL's this weekend, too. I forgot about that. NFL is this weekend. Yep. Big NFL weekend with the playoffs, stuff like that. So, guys, again, just a quick reminder, tsus.store. New merchandise has hit the store. Be sure to check it out. tsus.store. We've got Yardcocks merch, the Beamer Rattler 23 merch. It's funny, too, how people, they wait, right? I mean, people wait until we get as close to football season as possible, right, before they buy the merch. So, but it's all good. It's all good. I tell you what, Beamer Rattler 2023 would look dope on a towel, wouldn't it? Just an idea. Just an idea. Would look dope. Jeff Gullidge, you're going to Vegas in 2 weeks. Yeah, why not? Put 100 on the Gamecocks. Why not? Dude, you don't even have to go to Vegas. You can just do it on the DraftKings app. By the way, check out Girls in the Game podcast. Girls in the Game. We did an interview with them. Really appreciate them having me on. Really, really fun stuff. Really fun stuff. Appreciate them. Jonathan Lee, what's the story, Chris? I'm not going to go into full details, number one, because I don't really know. I kind of know. I can tell you this, Jonathan Lee, it's all field issues from his time at Mizzou that I guess is raising a red flag. I don't know. I don't know, my friend. It's silly. It is. It's unfortunate. It's silly. It's so. But it's all field issues. It has nothing to do with his grades or anything like that. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with his grades or anything. Chase says we got to find a new Jumbotron towel guy. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, my guy. Hey, all we got's all we need, Chase. All we got's all we need, my guy. So all we got's all we need. Hunter Kelly says you're pulling for the Jags. Don't want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You're pulling for Trevor Lawrence. Okay. I don't really care who wins, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm not pulling for anybody. Just be totally honest. Yeah, Jeff Gullidge. I don't know the full story of why it would be a big deal. I don't understand why it would be something that would hold him back. I don't know. I don't know procedures. I don't know the process. I don't know why or how that all works. I don't know. So I have no idea. I don't know what the deal is with Jeff Cody. And we talked with JC Sherwood about that yesterday. I don't know. Here's something y'all can help me out with, though. This is a complete side note. I have not had any barbecue since I've gotten to Greenville. Does anybody have any good suggestions? I know my guy Chase, somebody's got to have something. What's the barbecue spots, right? I miss Palmetto Pig in Columbia. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I miss my folks over at Palmetto Pig. What y'all got? What are the go-to barbecue spots in Greenville? And like, don't tell me home team. Don't you dare tell me home team. Give me some like the hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like the spots. You know what I mean? Like the real spots. So if anybody, okay, so there's 2 votes now. 2 votes for SBH on Pelham. Coach Ford and Gad have said that. Gad says Buc-ee's is good also. Look at that picture of Dalton. Love that. Yeah, I realized that the other day. I was like, I have not had barbecue since I've been in Greenville. I literally have not had I haven't been to a single barbecue place since I moved here. Anyways, let's jump to the phone lines.
Call from
Robbie Davis, Zaxby's Hall of Famer.
Robbie, what's going on, my guy? How are you?
I'm all right. I hate moving, bro. I hate moving with a passion.
Yeah, it's not fun, my guy.
I hate it.
It's not fun at all. I mean,
I'm
I don't know if
done.
I've ever
I just
met
gotta-
anybody. I don't know if I've ever met anybody that enjoyed moving. So
If I ever meet somebody that says they enjoy moving, I'm going to question their sanity. Okay, I'm just saying because I'm basically done packing. I just got to figure out what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. It's irritating as shit. I hate it.
yeah. Well, I
I'd
feel
rather be
I
sitting in
feel
a
for
dentist's
you, my
office
guy.
than dealing with this. That's how much I hate it.
Yeah, I feel for you, my guy.
But no, see, if I wasn't moving tomorrow, I would say mosey yourself to Orangeburg and we go to Whitman Street in Orangeburg.
All right. Oh, in Orangeburg.
But
okay.
I'm moving.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Robbie, I'll actually be in Atlanta tomorrow, my guy. I don't know if you saw that, but
You going to the ATL?
yeah, we're going to Braves Fan Fest, Fan Day, whatever the heck it is.
Nice.
So
Nice. Well, shocker, the girls beat the crap out of Vanderbilt.
yeah, I remember going and watching them play Vandy in person last year, and it was they just bullied them. So I kind of expected that. But yeah, no, it's feels good to be good, my guy. It's truly they are the definition
Like
of
early
that.
on though, I got kind of a little scared because they were like crowding the paint and getting rebounds, and I was like, why am I worried? Eventually, our height is going to take over, and we're going to beat them like a drum.
Mhm.
So why am I worried? And then lo and behold, the second quarter comes around, and we just put our foot on their throat and say, "Forget this. We're going to beat your ass."
Indeed.
But my plan for this coming football season, by the way, okay,
What's your
is
plan?
to somehow, by some miracle of the good Lord, if I wind up going to some games this year and you're going, I'm going to figure out a way to show up and surprise you by me wearing your merch. Come Hades or high water.
Come Hades or high water, my guy. I love that. I appreciate you, Robbie. I appreciate you.
And like I've always said, rather if I have merch or not, you got my support 100%. So
I know I do, Robbie. I
And
appreciate you. I
honestly,
appreciate you.
And on the Jeffcoat note, I feel sorry for him. I've gotten to the point where I feel sorry for him that he's got to go through all this mess. And just judging from what I've heard you say and what I've heard other people say, he's ready to get the heck out of Missouri.
And I don't blame him. You ever been to Missouri? Ain't shit there.
I've been through Missouri, but I've never been to Missouri.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot, my guy. Not a whole lot.
So quick question: do the guys play today, or do they play? They don't play till tomorrow, right? Or do they play today? I can't remember.
The guys play tomorrow, like a 3:30 tip off or something like
that's
that.
What I thought.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna get killed, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be ugly. It'll be a crap show.
Let's see. Yeah, 3:30 tip off on a SEC network. So,
but and I found something that I've been looking for forever. I found my old Carolina jersey, a number 11, like 2010 jersey that I've been trying to find for who knows how long.
mm-hmm.
And it's been under my bed in a basket for like 2 years. So I'm eventually gonna rock it because I loved watching Kenny McKinley play.
Yeah.
That
yeah, dude. R.I.P. R.I.P. indeed.
That
my
dude
man.
was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really curious for this coming football season to see who becomes our starting running back.
Yeah, we I think yeah.
Selfishly, I would love to see what's his name? I can never remember his
Carroll?
name. Yeah, him. Yeah. I really hope he plays a lot this year and shows what he wanted to show in the bowl game. And if he's as good as advertised, we're going to have ourselves hopefully a decent running game. If we got the offensive line to block for him, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think Beamer's doing the right thing, getting the guy, getting the defensive linemen, the defensive ends, the defensive ends, defensive tackles, and getting the big uglies up front for the offensive line because the offense can't go nowhere without those guys.
Right.
Having an offense is pointless if you ain't got an offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be wise to go add probably one more guy from the portal at the running back position. I mean, maybe they're just really high on Dontavius Braswell. I try to not think about it, but it still is baffling about the whole Lloyd thing. But that's done and over with. So I think there are guys out there you could go add, and I think it'd be wise to do so because. I think Mario Anderson Jr. from Newberry is a fun story. Will he actually be a good player at the SEC level? I have no idea. Lavassier Carroll, we have high hopes for. I don't know what he's going to be. Is he ready to be? Is he ready to be
the guy,
the dude? Yeah, RB1.
Yeah.
Juju McDowell, I don't think is a 20-25 carry a game guy. He's not necessarily the bell cow running back. So.
No,
yeah,
I agree. He's not a he's not a workhorse. He's more of a get the short yardage kind of
guy.
Yeah. In my opinion, that's what I see whenever he runs the football. Like he's more of if it's 3rd and 1, give it to Dowell, let him get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we need a running back that not only has the power to get a 3rd and 1, but has the tendency to get big runs because the last couple of years we have not had a very good running game. We've had a good running game, but it wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And I think if we can get the right guys that fit Loggins' system, I think this offense can do something.
Mhm.
Because whenever you hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up. So we'll have to
Indeed.
wait and see.
Indeed.
All right, man. I'm gonna finish up doing all this crap because I'm ready to get this over with and get the
What's
heck out of here.
what's for lunch? What's for lunch for Robbie Davis today?
Well, my dad's gonna be getting off at 4, so I'm definitely gonna go get me some Duke's barbecue because I might not be able to go get any tomorrow since I'm moving and leaving tomorrow. So if he gets off at 4, like he's hoping, we're going to Duke's barbecue.
So you're not eating lunch until 4:00.
Well, I'm not going to eat until 4 o'clock because, starters, I'm not really that hungry right now. And so if I have to, I'll wait till 4 o'clock. I don't care.
Okay, you're going to have an appetite ready for some barbecue, my guy. That's for sure.
The goal is to eat 2 plates. That's the goal.
Look at you. At it, babe. Live your best life, Robbie. I love that.
Hey, I try to every day, my guy. I try to every day. All right, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and jump over here. You have a safe trip to the ATL. And as always, Clemson sucks and leave the stupid stuff to me.
I will indeed do so, Robbie. I appreciate you.
You too, buddy.
Yeah,
All
man.
right, bye-bye.
We'll talk soon. Appreciate you. Take care. Great stuff from Robbie Davis. As always, wait until 4:00 to eat. I've done that before, but bold. Guys, we've hit 12:43. Let's go ahead and jump into our first break of the day. On the other side, though, I want to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Jeff Gullich is kind of off subject. Did you see the mountain lion Derek Wolf killed in Colorado? That sucker was huge. I did not see that, my guy. David Barnes says between Juice Dak, Xavier Legette, and Amarian Brown, our wide receiver room is promising. We need to build some depth behind them. Yeah, you need guys like Landon Sampson, Omega Blake. If Bakari Swain plays offense, which I think he will, you need some young guys to step up, though. I mean, realistically, you need Legette to come into his own and be a week in, week out contributor. I think we all obviously are confident that Juice Wells is going to be an impact guy for us the entire season. But definitely, I think if you can add one or two more pieces in the receiver room, that would be ideal. Let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from
Will from Dirty Myrtle.
Will, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, my guy? I'm doing pretty good.
Chilling, man. Chilling. I appreciate you asking. What's going on?
So do you know anything about Eddie Lewis? Have you heard anything about the possibility? Because when does the transfer portal close? Is it today or tomorrow?
So it closed. I think 2 days ago. So or maybe yesterday. Yesterday it closed. Yesterday it
Is
closed.
it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so nobody else can come until after spring.
I don't think so. As far as I understand, I don't think so. So
Because he was visiting, I think, this past weekend, right?
yes, I believe.
The
Yeah.
kid from Memphis.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, but yeah, I was wondering. I just didn't know if there was. So there's no chance for us to get any more transfers after spring.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's closed up now, which is I tell you, which is interesting. I'm kind of surprised nobody from our quarterback room hit the portal. I'm not saying that. I'm glad they're all still here, but it is kind of surprising. I think though you will see not just with us, but across college football. Obviously, I mean, the transfer portal gets hot after the spring when guys kind of understand where they fall on the depth chart and realistic opportunities to play, and they kind of see all the additions, right? And
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm really surprised Gothier hadn't transferred out yet. I mean, because there's just no chance for that kid to play. I mean, I like the kid, nothing against him, but I just don't see him ever getting a snap at South Carolina, any meaningful one at least.
Yeah.
But maybe I guess after spring.
Well, you never know. You never know what guys' situations are or why they stick around or they leave or whatever. So, I mean, it's I'm glad he's a Gamecock, but yeah, it'll be interesting because I think there's still some things we need to address. I think running back, I think receiver, I think linebacker, edge guys, defensive end. I think. But the good news is Beamer's. He's shown obviously his track record. If he can go out there and land somebody, and they're going to attack the portal. So I'm excited for it. But yeah, right now it's closed, my guy. So I don't know exactly what.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can add a couple more because, like you said, I mean, we do have quite a few holes, especially on the line of scrimmage on both sides that we need to address, and also at cornerback, we're going to really have to replace a lot there as well. But anyway, all right. That's what I was calling in. I just wasn't sure because I knew that we had some officials this weekend to visit.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was still in play or not, but I guess not. All righty. I appreciate it, buddy. I'll hop off.
Hey, Will, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for the call. Great stuff. Great stuff from my guy, Will from Dirty Myrtle. Let's see. So my guy, Chase, I'm going to expose you, Chase, in the Big Cock Club Discord, TDC Questions channel. He loves to drop polls during the breaks, and the poll he just dropped, what does Chris do during the breaks? And these are his options. Got a peeing problem, eats snacks, FaceTimes his girl, retweets P-Doc, drugs, or questions why he takes our calls. Why is there not a 7, all the above? Chase, I mean, why is there not an all the above answer? So that's hilarious. The fact you came up with 6 different scenarios is pretty impressive, I got to say. It's pretty impressive. Guys, by the way, just a quick update. There is a good chance, high chance, that I will be at the South Carolina LSU women's basketball game on February the 12th. Now, why do I bring up that game specifically? Because that will be a great game, right? I think LSU is ranked. I'd have to look at the AP poll, but LSU is ranked pretty high. They're very good. Of course, we're number 1, so that'll be a fun game to go to. Sunday, February the 12th. It'll be a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, again, 843-790-3377. What do y'all got? What do y'all got here on this Friday, TGIF? We dropped the, and we're going to continue to do these, guys. We every sport I like to drop our full breakdowns of the roster, stuff like that. So today, I dropped all the Yardcocks right-handed pitchers on tomorrow, or probably tomorrow, or maybe Sunday. I'll drop the left-handed pitchers, and then we'll drop full position breakdowns as we do the position unit preview series. But really excited for that. Check out the podcast. It dropped yesterday in case you missed it. I got to look and see. I'm not exactly sure what position we will drop Monday. Maybe catchers. Might be catchers. So, might be catchers. So. Yeah. So, anyways. Guys, really excited. Again, looking forward to opening day, getting out to Founders Park. I have not made the decision yet whether I'll be at opening day or not. Again, a lot of that has to do with, we're going to put together this spring tour schedule. And so what I'm thinking about doing is being in, we might start it out, Columbia, being at the Harbison location that Thursday, and then the next day going to opening day. Austin Greer says, how are we ranked, LMAO? Well, Austin, we do have good players, believe it or not. I know that you scoff at that and laugh at that, but we do have good baseball players. You look at the guys we added through the portal. I mean, we got one of the best pitching staffs, Austin, in the league, bottom line. So that's really not up for debate. So we've got a fantastic pitching staff. The guys you added to the portal are going to be massive boosts to your bullpen. Yeah, I mean, some of the sticks you added. So we've got good players. If we listen, Austin, if we don't win this year, it ain't because we don't have talent. And that's what bothers people. And it should bother people. It absolutely should bother people. That's why I was so bothered last year. If you go below 500, it ain't because you don't have good players. And Austin, yes, Carolina was 13th or whatever the hell they were in the SEC last year, had a miserable year. But Austin, I think what you also have to remember, that's the beauty of baseball. Like it's not, look at Austin, look at Texas A&M last year. Went from 9-21 in league play in 2021 to they were a top 8 national seed a season ago. So, I mean, you never know in baseball because the margin is so small. The difference between being a 10-20 SEC ball club and a 15-15 SEC ball club and a 20-10 SEC ball club, the margins are very small, right? So, and I'm not trying to pump you up and tell you that we're gonna win the College World Series this year, but I like to think that we can't be a good ball club this year. I think is inaccurate. I think we've got talent. We've got a lot of talent. Am I concerned about the hitting? Yes, absolutely. I'm concerned about the hitting. No doubt. I mean, because as optimistic as I am, and I'll say you this, guys, I admittedly have a soft spot for the Yardcocks. I love Carolina baseball. I want us to be good so badly. And also, too, I think there's so much more. Again, in football, it's like, if you don't have the size, the speed, the stars, the personnel, you're behind the 8 ball, right? Like, you don't have much of a chance, right? But when you're at South Carolina, that's not a problem. You have the talent, right? You have the talent. You do. You're not at a talent deficiency. So I want to believe we're going to be good. But realistically, I think we added a lot of good players, but we've never hit under Kingston. We've just never hit under Mark Kingston. So I come into this season, let me put it to you this way. This is where I stand on the Yardcocks for the 2023 season. My expectations have not changed. The expectation for South Carolina baseball, it is what it is. The expectations are high, as they should be, right? My hopes for Carolina baseball are high, as they should be each and every single year. Now, my prediction for the season, as you will see, will probably err more on the conservative side, because I need to see us swing the bat. I need to see us be consistent at the plate. I need to see that, because we've never done it under Kingston outside of when he had Chad Holbrook's roster. That's the only time we've done it. Mark Kingston has never taken a ball club of his own, and hit worth a damn, right? I mean, 2021, we lived and died by the home run. We got away with it a little bit. We still didn't hit consistently enough. We still weren't consistent swinging the stick. So, listen, if you've got concerns about this ball club and this team and Mark Kingston, a Mark Kingston coach team, you're justified. You're absolutely justified. And I'll talk about it more as we get closer to opening day. But Mark Kingston's job security and those issues, that's certainly a storyline in this season. Hell, I'm talking to Aaron Fitt this afternoon about the season and about, I'm very curious and intrigued to hear from Aaron Fitt about they ranked Carolina 23rd. To your point, Austin, I was surprised to see us in the top 25. I think that really goes to show how highly they think of our transfers and the guys that we brought in. I think that really speaks volumes, right? I think that speaks loudly. But I'm very curious and intrigued to hear about their thoughts on the state of Carolina baseball and Mark Kingston. And, because you can, I'm someone, I believe in setting very fair and realistic expectations. But the expectations at Carolina baseball, they should be very high, right? They should be very high. Like, I don't like this whole, unreasonable expectation. No, they should be high. Absolutely. I mean, even Chad Holbrook, as much as I like Coach Holbrook, you missed the postseason 2 out of 3 years. Sorry. I mean, it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's flat out unacceptable. So I'm curious to hear what he's got to say about Mark Kingston, about this year's team. And again, they're obviously high on the Gamecocks. I think they have equated South Carolina to like this year's Texas A&M, which if you don't know what I mean by that, last year Texas A&M, they load up on portal players, and they go from being, again, 9-21 in SEC play the year prior to a top 8 national seed and making Omaha. So, and we'd obviously all love to see that be the result for the Gamecocks. We'd love to see that. So, let's see. Austin Gregory says, which 3 players are you most excited to see swing the stick this year? I'm excited to see Braylon Wimmer, right? I'm excited to see his year. Gavin Cassis, the transfer first baseman, if he can stay healthy, right? If he can stay healthy, I'm really pumped to see him. And I'd probably say outside of that, I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah, I think Cassis is who I'm excited to see from the transfers, no doubt. Ethan Petrie, I'm also excited to see. True freshman. I think at the hot corner, I think he could be a guy that plays a lot for you as well. They're really high on him. So we got capable guys, man. We've got good sticks. We do. We've got guys that have had success at their previous stops. It's just about being more consistent. That's all it comes down to. It's about being more consistent, and that's what we've struggled so mightily with over the last couple of years. So, got to find a way to be more consistent, man. Got to find a way to be more consistent. So, let's see again, guys. 843-790-3377. Madison says, we'll have to beat Arkansas Sunday. They gave LSU a hard time, came back and tied, then led and only lost by 3 in a seconds matter game. A must-watch game for your fan on women's basketball Sunday. Yeah, big game, big game. Big game for Dawn Staley's squad, no doubt, no doubt. I can tell a lot of you have taken an early weekend just based off of the crowd we got tuned in. I appreciate all those that are tuned in today. Thank y'all so much. I know things have slowed down a little bit, but it's funny. Again, I was talking with the Carolina Ale House folks, and I've talked with others, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. People ask me all the time, about baseball, and I love football season for the madness, for the chaos, for the because what it means for content and for business and stuff like that. But I do love baseball's still intense. I mean, especially for me, I get into it, but I do love sort of the laid back nature of it. I really do. I love that, it's more of a marathon, not a sprint. And that, like this month, we're able to kind of take a breath. The Christmas rush was real, but yeah. So Austin Gregory, do you sell Yardcocks towels? I have not. No, the only towels I've ever sold have been Beamer Ball towels. So, I mean, I guess Yardcocks towels could be a thing. Could. Maybe. We'll look into that. We'll look into that. Joey 80, have you been keeping up with what Coach Prime's doing out in Colorado? I think even if I didn't want to, Joey 80, it's hard not to because it's all over social media. Yeah, I saw they flipped that that defensive back or whatever. They flipped him. So good on them, I guess. Good on them. I mean, listen, Coach Prime is Coach Prime's doing big things. Let's see. Madison, can you sell shirts like the one you have on, put a TSUS logo on the other sleeve? Well, so this is a jersey, Madison. This is a jersey. So I don't really, I mean, I'm sure I could find a site that would do it, but I don't have the capabilities right now to make baseball jerseys. So Jeff Gullidge, during your playing days, were you one of the guys who cared where you hit in the lineup? Well, Jeff, I was a pitcher, so I didn't hit. I didn't really hit. And in high school, I would hit. But yeah. Austin Gregory, Chris, why are you? This is a Carolina baseball jersey, Austin. Carolina baseball jersey. It's just got the Under Armour logo on it, which you can tell, by the way. You can tell that this was made in China because that is not Under Armour's logo. That is not the Under Armour logo. Did we cancel Under Armour? I was unaware of that. I did not know we canceled Under Armour. I did not know that. This is news to me, my guy. This is news to me. Indeed. This is indeed news to me. Anyways, guys, do y'all remember, by the way, and I guess this wasn't that long ago, do y'all remember the days when it was like a slow day like today, and instead of doing TDC like this, we would stream NCAA football and take questions? Do y'all recall? Do y'all remember that? What a time that was. What a time. What a freaking time. Yeah, Darrell Wall Jr. again. I'm really excited for this ball club, man. I'm really excited. Really excited. How about who dropped this? Chris Lowe dropped his way too early 2023 All-America team. Kai Kroger listed as the punter. How about that? How about that? He says one of the big mysteries last season was how Kai Kroger wasn't even a finalist for the Ray Guy Award as the top punter in the country. Some in and around South Carolina's program thought he was a strong candidate for team MVP. Kroger averaged 46.1 yards per punt, had 29 punts down inside the 20-yard line, 4 inside the 10 in a 31-30 win over Clem Sucks. He's also a threat to throw the ball, was 4 for 4, including 2 touchdowns as a trick play passer. So love to see Kai getting some love, man. He deserves it. The Ray Guy Award, that's bonkers, dude. Whoever's doing that, that's bonkers. Michael Sullivan, bring it back. Me and the fellas during COVID would bet on the outcome of sim games. Michael, that's incredible. That, my friend, is incredible. I love that. I love that. I love that for sure. Let's see. Which MLB The Show is out right now? Is it MLB The Show 22 or is it 23? Huh. Dude, I would love to do like a season simulation thing on MLB The Show. I would love to. Anybody we got any MLB The Show people in here? I'd love to, man. Call me a nerd, whatever you want. It's so, I've told you guys this. It's so funny. I've seen people on social media, which slap dick, so who cares? But I've seen people like hate on the video game content we do. And I'm like, dude, you 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 and I'm like, dude, you. Okay, the slapdick hackers, I guess, heard me talking about them, and they heard me talking about them, and yeah. Anyways, no, what I was gonna say though, I mean, you have to just hate fun to not like the video game content. It's just fun. It's just fun, you know. Yeah, Jeff Gullidge, I heard about Kirby Smart getting contacted by the. There's no way he leaves Georgia. Just none. And Georgia would pay him whatever he wanted. You know? Bro, y'all ought to see this DM, by the way, I got on Instagram. I woke up to a DM on Instagram from this Clemson fan. And at 3:45, this random kid, 3:45 a.m., he DM'd me, and I'm going to put this in the Big Cock Club Discord so folks can see this. Let me actually include his name in here so people get an idea. Let's see. A Clem Sucks fan who was very upset DM me, and I woke up to this. Just this random kid, though. He says, at 3:45 a.m., you're a coward, for real. Chris Phillips, more like Chris D's nuts. Respond, Chris. These are all separate messages. You're scared. Born and raised a Clem Sucks fan, or Clemson fan, he said. You suck. I bleed orange and purple. Go Tigers. Then he says, get a load of this slapdick on Instagram DMs at 4:05 a.m. I think he was talking about himself because I was obviously asleep. And then he just says, nice, buddy. All of those separate messages at like 4 in the morning. I thought about tweeting it, man, but I'm like, why even like bring attention to it to that level? Why even bring attention to it? I don't know. Pretty hilarious, though, honestly. Pretty hilarious. It's people, I just, that's not the first time that, dude, I have gotten DM'd like some wild stuff over the years, man. Some wild stuff. Yeah, kid was definitely hammered. There's no question. Kid was hammered, bro. No doubt. No doubt. He was shit hammered, man. He was shit hammered, no doubt. Yep, no doubt. But yeah, it would appear Clem Sucks fans are taking the loss really, really well. I mean, bro, I haven't, for those who are on Instagram, you know who I'm talking about. But I haven't heard from Charles Loves Jessica or Charles Morton or whatever. I haven't heard from them since the game ended. Like it's hilarious. It's hilarious. There are a lot of Clem Sucks people out there that lived in my comments and in my mentions and everything. Lived in them when they were winning. Bro, I haven't heard a peep. I haven't heard a peep out of some of these Clem Sucks folks since South Carolina beat them. Bro, I mean, there's some of them, they are broken. Their spirit, their entire existence revolved around Clem Sucks beating South Carolina in football. And now that it hasn't happened, poof, just disappear. Just disappear. Their entire existence is a sham now. It's quite funny, I will say. It's actually high-key hilarious. Fair weather ass fans in the upstate. It's a shame, but you love to see it. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and jump into another break. On the side, I want to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377 here on this Friday, January the 20th. Appreciate you guys, man. Another successful week in the books. Thank y'all so much for, again, the continued love, support on the merchandise side of the business, the podcast, the live shows, social media. Really excited for what's upcoming, too, by the way. You know, we're kicking off 2023. Staying hot, carrying the momentum over from 2022 into this calendar year. And, of course, we've got some big events upcoming and different things we're doing and stuff like that. So really appreciate y'all, man, and just excited to really, really get it rolling, right? I mean, we're rolling right now, but I feel like we're kind of using the month of January to gear up, right? To sort of gear up and really get things moving. So Brandon Wagner says, usually people drunk text ex-girlfriends, not TSUS. Brandon, you would, I'm telling you, bro, you'd be stunned at some of the shit I've gotten. I mean, especially after games. Oh my God. And I got to be honest, not even from just all like Clem sucks people. I'm talking from Gamecocks. I mean, there are, and y'all know this. There are some Gamecock people. It's one thing to dislike our content, right? It's one thing to not be a fan of my style. That's fine. Not everybody should like it, right? It's like I've told you guys, for some to love it, others must hate it, right? But there's that, right? There's that. There are some people that like literally probably would find joy in me like getting hit by a car. Like I'm not even trying to over exaggerate. There are some people out there that it like fiercely irritates them that we exist. You know what I mean? And like for those people, again, bro, I pray for those people that like that anybody could have that level of disdain and discontent. And I mean, I feel like, and I'm speaking primarily on the Carolina Slapdick community, like I feel like I'm doing them a favor when I block them. Because it's like, if my content, what I do brings you this much animosity in your life, like you don't need to be seeing what I do. Because it's obviously a negative in your existence. So pray for them people, man. It's wild. It's wild. It's crazy that somebody talking sports could rile somebody up to that level, like to bring that level of hatred out. You feel for people like that, man. Anyways, Madison says, I want to say I listened to the 107.5, the Game Radio Talk Show, Defining Your Social Media 12 to 2 show. I haven't turned the radio on in a while. You keep it real and let the people lead the way. This is my formal thank you for doing what you do. A big fan. I look forward to your bright future. Madison, thank you. Thank you so much. And that's why I've said before, Madison, and I'll say it again, that, you know, the podcast and the live show are two separate things, right? And the reason I do that, again, is because this show, like you said, Madison, this show truly is for the people. Like, if this was just me rambling, I wouldn't do it, right? I wouldn't do it because I can ramble on the podcast. This is about the people, the comments, the calls, right? Like, that's what it's about. So you guys really control this show. If you want it to go a certain direction, you want to talk about a certain topic, if there's something that is happening in Gamecock Nation or whatever that you want addressed, hasn't been addressed, what have you, we can talk about anything. We can talk about on field. We can talk about off field. We can talk about social media. We can talk about anything. We can talk about business, whatever you want. So that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. So I appreciate y'all, because without y'all, truly without y'all, TDC wouldn't exist. Wouldn't exist. You know, it would not exist. It would not exist. So I appreciate y'all sincerely, man. Yeah, Bruin Nation says some of that Gamecock Twitter's obsessed. Yeah, I mean, it's to the point, Bruin Nation, where there's certain people on social media that if you associate with them and you interact with them and you go back and forth with them, and I, you know, you can listen, you can support whoever you want, right? But there's a certain, which you probably know, Bruin Nation, because you're very active. You know who I'm talking about. But if you associate with a certain group of folks that, like, again, it's one thing to just dislike my content, say my takes are dog shit. But when you start attacking my character and attacking me personally and attacking my livelihood and things of that nature, and you spew some of the bullshit you see on social media, I just, if you associate with those people, You're guilty by association. I'm going to block you. That's the bottom line. You're part of the Carolina Slapdick community by association. You are. So is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I have no Bruin Nation. I just have no time for foolishness. You know what I mean? Like, again, I used to entertain it. I used to say, well, as long as people are talking about me, that's all I really want. But I'm not at that point where like I need that. I don't need that. Like I don't need that. I don't need that headache. I don't need to see it. I don't need to entertain it. I don't need to give these people easy access to my work and to my content and to my commentary. I don't need to do that, And it's what, 300 or so folks. I've talked about this before. It's not that many people that I have blocked, but like, and again, I don't just block everybody that disagrees with me. I don't do that. But who do I block? I block the people that spew lies on social media and spew bullshit and throw personal attacks and just shit where there's really no place for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, where there's just truly no place for it. So, I run towards banter. I run towards constructive banter. I run towards debate. But there's certain things I have no patience for. I don't tolerate. And so I just block it out of my existence as best I can. So, I mean, it's and that's how we rock and that's how we operate. And so, and I think it's working very effectively well. I mean, my whole point was, I don't know exactly. I think it was over the football season when I finally just said, it was finally, when that Dak Joyner tweet thing happened, it was finally when I said, okay, I need to, like the cancel culture people, the cancelers, if you will, the Carolina Slapdick community. It's like, I'm going to go ahead and just start blocking people that have no business having easy access to my content. And my goal and my initiative there was, I was like, I'm going to prove that not only are we going to grow, we're going to grow at an even faster clip when I don't have this nonsense filling my mentions and flooding our feed, what have you. And I mean, we've done that, bro. Like the growth we experienced in 2022 was massive. I mean, when you think about it, dude, at this point last year, we were sitting at like 18,000 followers on Twitter. Now we're at 34,000. Like we almost doubled. We almost doubled in size in a year, right? So Bruin Nation says, I support you 100% and love your opinions. And that's what's so interesting because I know Bruin Nation. I know you're right in the thick of it. He says 99.9% of what you say is what 99% of them are scared to say but want to say it. I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here. I mean, I said it when the Dak Joyner thing happened, and I'll say it again. I give hundreds, if not thousands of takes, right? And when you live boldly and you give takes that they're not your cookie cutter sunshine pumper takes, I'd say 99% of my takes land, but there's going to be that 1% that just don't. It's inevitable. It's inevitable, right? And, you learn hard lessons along the way. You learn that you have to be very careful with what you say, the way you phrase things, because people who tune into my content on a day in, day out basis, right? They understood what I was saying about Dak Joyner because we've had the conversations about Dak hundreds of times, right? But for people that don't tune in, that don't have context, that don't understand where we're coming from, when you see something in 140 characters, you can literally spin it and run with it and create whatever narrative you want. And so that's the dangerous side of social media. But I'll never be someone that says, damn social media, to hell with because social media has given me an opportunity to literally start at zero and build a business, all because of social media and being able to grow a platform on social media, right? Like, so, I mean, I love social media for that reason. I love Twitter. I love Instagram, love Facebook, love the opportunities that it provides, right? I mean, imagine, just think with this perspective, guys. Imagine starting a business back before smartphones. Imagine starting a business like in the 90s when you had pay phones and like you had to advertise in the yellow pages and like word of mouth and like you really had to put work in. The internet changed everything, right? Like we are so fortunate. We're so fortunate. So I'm extremely grateful for that side of things. And it can certainly get crazy. I mean, Twitter, at times it can be a cesspool, no doubt. But I think the positives outweigh the negatives greatly, truly. So, and people have been trying to cancel me, Big Wash, since since I started practically, and it hadn't worked yet. So, and I'm not antagonizing and that's something I don't go out of my way to antagonize the Carolina Slapdick community. But we continue to thrive and grow and focus on the things we can control, which is making great content and, providing value to you all, pushing out as much value as possible in the universe. And I'd say things are going pretty well for us. So, I'm extremely blessed and grateful. And that's the key, right? That's the key. When you're on the pursuit and the path, inevitably success draws that backlash to a degree, that feedback, especially when you're making waves and you're going against the grain. Like I've always from the jump, I've always had the mindset of not everybody's supposed to like it. I think that's where a lot of people get confused, right? They think that everybody should like what I do. It's a bad sign if everybody doesn't like. No, it's a bad sign if everyone does like what you do. It is. It is. Because if you're being genuine and honest and bold, like you should have some opinions. You should be doing some things that create a stir on both sides. The worst thing you can be is boring. And guess what? Somebody who is agreeable, whether it's fair or unfair, whether you like it or not, somebody who's agreeable all the time and just has these boring, bland, just agreeable takes, they're boring. They're boring. If you're a sunshine pumper, you're boring. You're boring. Nobody's listening to your show. Nobody's listening to your content. Nobody's tuned into your content. You're boring. It's not about being someone who's liked by everyone. It's about being engaging, entertaining. I believe I've just believed since the jump, people want to be challenged, right? People want to be challenged. They do. It's why people like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp and Colin Cowherd. It's why those people do so well. Dude, Stephen A. Smith, you can think they're trolls and clickbaity and shot job. Stephen A. Smith is filthy rich. Those guys are rich. They're filthy rich. Those shows do incredible. So, and I'm not saying that's what I want to be. I don't think, I would like to think you guys know for my content, like I'm not out here giving just crazy, outlandish, shock jockey type takes, but I give takes that are challenging, and I like to see things from both sides. And it's why I gravitate towards having someone like a Mark Ryan on the show. Because Mark Ryan, you can say whatever you want about the guy. You can think he's a troll. You can think he's a Clemson fan. You can think he hates Carolina. You can think he's this. You can think he's that. He's entertaining. Mark Ryan is entertaining. Bottom line, point blank, end of story. He's an electric factory when it comes to content. He's not just going to come on and give me the same old BS about, exactly what I want to hear. And Mark he marches to the beat of his own drum. And that, my friends, I respect probably more than anything. Sticks to his guns, marches to the beat of his own drum, whether you like it or not. So, and I like that. I run to that. I gravitate towards that. I mean, guys, if you want to know how my brain works in a crazy way, we hired Shane Beamer in December of 2020, right? And of course, all throughout the 2021 calendar year, we're bringing on people, personalities, former players, whatever, that are like talking about the hire. We were talking about the hire, and this is a great hire. Everybody had amazing things to say about the hiring and why it was a perfect fit. And I loved hearing that. But the way my brain works, I was sitting there, I was like, I'd love to find someone who didn't think it was a good hire and hear their perspective why. Not because I agree with them, but I just like to hear differing perspectives. Maybe I'll learn something or think about something in a different way than I thought of before. You know what I mean? Like I run towards that. I like that. The beauty, that's why I say the beauty is in the banter. And so I guess it's why, I'm wired to do what I do. I don't get uncomfortable with the banter. I love it. I gravitate towards it. There's some folks, they clam up and they become very uncomfortable when they face banter. Right? Anyways. Yeah. Yeah, Marion. The Dak Joyner thing was wild. That was a wild. I mean, dude, if you want to know how crazy it was, bro, you had people from Gamecock Twitter calling up my sponsors, right? My business partners, calling up Palmetto, or not Palmetto at that time, calling up Todd and Moore, calling up Rival. Like, I mean, dude, people were actively trying to get TSUS wiped off the face of the earth. You know what I mean? So that was a wild time. But, we're moving forward. We're pushing forward in 2023, but it's unfortunately, it's one of those things. It's crazy, I have learned it's about when, not if. It's just inevitable. If you stick to your guns and you live boldly and you make takes, and it's going to happen, man. There's going to be takes people just do not agree with, but that's 1% of takes. You can't completely change yourself up, right? You can't say you can't change your style because of 1%. It's why I've never understood, we've all seen it, right? On Twitter before, like a company, a business will do something and they'll receive backlash. Here's the funny thing, guys. Like, backlash on Twitter is so minuscule in the grand scheme of things. It really is when you think about it. Because I think what happens is this. People are not used to, right? We're not wired as humans to see negative comments about ourselves, right? Like you post a picture on your own personal Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Let's just say you do. Let's say you get 100 comments, right? 99 of those comments are positive. Let's say you get one negative comment. You're ugly. You're fat. You're stupid. Whatever the comment is. Our human nature is positive comments disappear, right? They disappear in a flash. We process them very quickly. Negative comments linger. We hang on to them. So what happens is this, even though the positive outweighed the negative, our brain is wired to focus on the negative, amplify the negative. So what happens is this, we have 34,000 followers on social media. You go across the board. You guys know them, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we out here. Thousands of people listening to the podcast, live show. We're out here. We're doing big shit. People rock with TSUS. But you got 300 slap dicks or 400, however many the number is. It's a minuscule number that are the mob, the Carolina slapdick community. And because people aren't used to even seeing one negative comment, right? One, right? And our brains are wired as human beings to focus on that one negative comment. So when you're seeing 300, that's when people say, well, the entire fan base hates this person. God, there's so many. When it's like 300 out of 34,000. 400, 500 out of 34,000 just on Twitter alone. Do that math. Those percentages, I can live with 1% not liking me. I can. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. If you do the math, it's actually kind of laughable. It's comical. It's comical that we give it so much credence. Right? Because the numbers prove how minuscule it is. So it's one of those things. That's why I'm able to keep it moving, keep rocking, because I understand how minuscule it is in the grand scheme of things. And you have to be able to, if you're going to be a content creator worth this snuff, if you're going to build a platform, if you're going to have the opinions and the takes, and you're going to be bold, and you're going to move boldly, by the way, and you're going to take bold action, you've got to be willing to push through. You have to, because most people cave. That's what happens. Most people cave. They get some negative feedback. They get the Carolina slapdick community comes at them. They cave. They disappear. Right? You got to be able to understand and realize this does not define me. This is indicative of them, not I. Right? Take nothing personally. This is indicative of them, not I. I'm continuing on the path. I'm continuing moving forward. I'm continuing to the moon. These people, they're minuscule. They don't matter. Stay focused. Tunnel vision, right? We continue our ascent. So that's the way you got to move. That's the way you got to operate. And that goes in any walk of life. Anyways. Let's see. Austin Gregory, aside from Zaxby's being better than Chick-fil-A, in hindsight, what's the worst take you believe you've made? Great question, Austin. What's the worst take I've ever made? Well, Austin, probably the most notable worst take is that Tennessee was going to bend us over and do whatever they wanted to do with us for 60 minutes. That one probably is the most notable bad one. Outside of that, picking us to go to the Super Regionals last year was pretty rough, honestly. I mean, I've missed on plenty of games, dude. I've missed on plenty. Listen, when you predict every game, you're likely to miss. You're likely to miss. So I've missed many times. I've missed, yeah, absolutely. I've missed many a time. Rebecca, appreciate you tuning in. What's going on? Yeah, the Tennessee game, that was a fun one, though, because obviously I wanted to be wrong, right? And I just said, to Bruin Nation's point, I just said what 99.9% of people were thinking, that we were going to get killed, right? Everybody thought we were going to get killed. Nobody thought we were going to win. So, I was just happy to be wrong, my man, personally. I was happy to be wrong, so. No, Brandon well, I'm not even going. Let's not even. Yeah. Let's see. Rebecca, you're still on quarantine. My goodness, Rebecca. We're praying for you. We're keeping you in our thoughts, Rebecca. Hate that. I hate that for you. Rebecca's got COVID, y'all. She got the vid. Did Keith give it to you, Rebecca? Did Keith give you the vid? Did he give you COVID? If so, shame on him. Shame on him. Hey, I'll tell you this though, if he's not willing to come hang out with you and catch the vid, he ain't the one. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Dale's the man. My bad. Shit, I forgot. Dale. I can't keep up with your men. I can't keep up with your men, Rebecca. You got a whole roster. You got a roster. Rebecca's got a roster of men. Hold on. I know for a fact that this kid, so apparently the kid who DM'd me, the kid that DM'd me, if this is the same guy, he is committed to play baseball at Clemson. That is hysterical if that's actually the case. That's hysterical. The kid that DM'd me acting like a fool. That is hilarious. That is hilarious, my friends. Wow. Wow, that's funny. That's really funny. Let's see. Dale did not give it to me, she says. Okay, we need a confirmation. Thank you. Yeah, apparently this kid, Cal Herndon. That's hilarious. That's actually very funny. I mean, that's very funny. Yeah. I mean, if you go to his Twitter, because somebody tagged him, it says he tweeted February the 22nd, 2021, beyond grateful to be able to have this opportunity, committed 110%. And it's Clemson. Yeah. That is, yeah, right-handed pitcher Cal Herndon of Lexington is committed to Clemson. Wow. What a time. Holy shit. King Slapdick, bro. King Slapdick headed to Clemson baseball. That is hysterical. Is he on their roster? Stop, dude. Stop. Come on. No way. No way. He's a recruit. It says class of 2021, but then it says committed, but he's not on their roster. So I don't know. He must be super, super mad. I don't know. Interesting. All right, guys, we're going to jump into one final break. On the other side, I want to continue to hear from you. More your questions, comments, calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 10 minutes or so here in the Daily Crow, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. Greg Bedinger asks, prediction for tomorrow's game. Pain. Lots of pain, Greg. Lots of pain. Gavin, I'm not a big UFC guy. I don't keep up with it. Nah, I'm not a big fighting guy. I mean, like would I go to a buddy's and like watch a fight if there was a big fight? You know, sure. I remember when I lived in Charlotte and we went uptown and watched a couple of the Conor McGregor fights and stuff like that. But nah, it's I don't make it a point or anything. I don't make it a point to watch the games. Let's see. I don't think I've been to Tsunami, Brendan. Or excuse me, Chase. I don't think I've been. So Luke RJ says, Chris, how far do you think you could throw a football? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can throw it over the mountains there. I could throw it over the mountains there. Austin Gregory says 71-39. Auburn. Jesus Christ. I think I said something like 82-58, but again, I literally gave the prediction on the pod yesterday and I already forgot what it is. So I'll get that yeah, I'll get that figured out. We'll get the graphic up, stuff like that. So how would you guys feel about a TSUS golf tournament, like a charity golf tournament or just a golf tournament in general? How would y'all feel about that? I'm curious. How would y'all feel about that? Maybe something in late April? Maybe something in May, something like that? I think June would also make a lot of sense too because things slow down. That's something I've always wanted to do, a TSUS golf tournament. I don't know where it would be, Madison. I mean, Columbia would make a lot of sense because it's in the middle of the state. I think that would make a ton of sense. But why not do a low country, Columbia, and upstate? Why not do it? You know? Why not do it? Jesse Jacobs, I couldn't even make. I mean, what's the game of the weekend, right? Is Buffalo and Cincinnati. I think that's obviously the game of the weekend. Travi, have a great weekend, my guy. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Yeah. Guys, again, I want to say I really do appreciate y'all, man. I want to say thank y'all so much. Truly, there's, you guys could be doing anything. Truly, I mean, you could just be doing anything, right? And when you really take a moment to stop and to think about, the journey, right? The journey. 6 years ago this month, we started up things. I started creating content around the Gamecocks in any capacity, right? And to think we went from that to where we are now is it's just a blessing, man. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. And, people ask me about it a lot. And they ask me about future plans, 5-year plan. What's your quote unquote end goal? That's one of my favorite questions. And that's such an interesting question because it's like, what, I mean, an end. Like, I don't even think about it that way. What's the end goal? There's no end, man. There's no end in sight. Like, I know that it's common and I understand it, right? In like the corporate circles and, I guess the normal path is, you work your entire life till you get to about 65 and then you can retire and do whatever or do nothing or whatever you want. bro, I view myself as actively retired, to be honest with you. I mean, I just like there are different ways to be quote unquote retired, let's define that. What is retired? That's just doing whatever you want to do. One of them is, again, work long enough to save up enough to where you have more income than you need, right? You have enough income to cover all of your expenses, your leisures, everything throughout the rest of your life. That's one way to retire. That's the traditional way to retire. The other way is to build a business, sell it, right? Like have that money. But basically, have enough money to where you cover your expenses, you cover your life, you cover leisure, you cover everything. Or the other way to retire, you can be actively retired, which is you're waking up and you're doing what you want to do, right? You're doing what you like to do. That's not work at that point. That's play. My work is play. That's how I view myself. Actively retired. I really do. Because I have not at one point woken up doing what I do and been like, oh, I got to do it today. We got to do the Daily Crow, man. We got to talk sports. We got to do the podcast. Now I'm a human being, right? There's some days you're a little bit more fired up than others. There's some days that, it just happens, right? Days happen, but that's why it is so important, in my opinion, to lead with perspective and gratitude. But I'm not wired as someone where I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to ever do nothing, I forever want to be doing things that fuel me and inspire me and give me the opportunity to utilize my strengths and my passions and my gifts and be able to give back to people and inject value in the universe. And that's just how I'm wired. Listen, there's some people that they want to do nothing and they're happy doing nothing, and God bless you. That's more power to you. That's how you're wired. That's how I'm wired is different though. And so, I just, I can't say thank y'all enough. From starting it back in Charlotte, working in the corporate world, I used to joke with people, but it was sincere that I did what I had to do 9 to 5 and what I like to do the rest of the time. And, to go from that to, making it in the early days full time as an entrepreneur, right? Just kind of learning how to do things and learning how to operate, and then enduring 2020, enduring COVID, the uncertainty of maybe not being able to do it anymore, to being able to push through that, to, the growth and building and evolving, the way the business has grown and evolved, and the way that I've grown and evolved as a human being and an entrepreneur. It's what we're doing is special. And so again, when I get asked those questions, what's the end goal? What's the 5-year plan? Those things are important, right? To have a plan, to have micro goals, macro goals, to look ahead in the future. But the future doesn't exist yet. These are things that have not happened. The past is done, right? All you got is the present moment, man. And I just, as much as I like to goal set and to speculate or to envision, to manifest, and I do those things, when it comes to looking down the road, man, I'm enjoying every step of the way, man. I'm enjoying what we're doing right now, because I think what we're doing right now, and I know what we're doing right now, is special. It's really special, and I savor every moment. These are the good old days. Don't miss the good old days while you're in them. These are the good old days, man. These are the good old days. I tell people all the time, this part of business, this is the fun part. This is the fun part, man. We're having a blast. With the content, with the shows, with the merch, with everything, the events, with everything we're doing, this is really, truly the fun part. And I'm having a blast, man. I'm having a blast. So that being said, guys, we've hit 2:00. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thank y'all so much. Big basketball game tomorrow. We'll all be tuned in. Follow along. Counting down the days to opening day. Check out the podcast that dropped yesterday. If you missed anything on TDC today, of course, we'll drop via our podcast feed, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. And again, just stay tuned to all the content bleeding out the eyeballs. And also stay tuned to the merch, tsus.store. I'll probably be chilling at the crib tonight, working on some new merch, cooking up some things. So truly appreciate y'all, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Have a great weekend. Go Cox. Let's upset Auburn tomorrow. And we will talk to you all on Monday.